The Lady Bird Johnson Grove Trail is a short and beautiful hike in Redwood National Park. With an elevation gain of 101 feet and an overall distance of 1.5 miles, this hike is perfect for almost all hiking skill levels. This trail is a lollipop loop trail, which means that you will be heading out and back on the same trail, but there is a loop at the end of it. If you enjoy learning while you hike, you can always stop just after you start the trail and scan this box. This will take you directly to where you can download the National Park Service app. On there, you'll find trail guides that correspond with the numbers that you'll find along the trail. If you want a sneaky way to get the app, you can always rewind the video, pause it, and scan the code there as well. Along this trail, you are going to see a ton of trees that have fallen victim to lightning strikes. It's really impressive that some of these trees are still alive because the lightning has almost completely hollowed them out. At right around the 0.3 of a mile mark, you will be coming up on the beginning of the loop. You can obviously go in either direction, but we ended up going in the clockwise direction. I assume that this is the route that the trail designers had intended on people taking, because if you go this way, the numbered markers will stay in order. Even though this is a really simple trail, there are a lot of cool things to see if you keep your eyes peeled. V spotted this tree that had been struck by lightning, and it formed somewhat of a cave at the bottom. It was located just off the trail, and it's a pretty neat spot to check out if you can find it. This gigantic tree cannot be light, and we have no idea how the little bit of tree that's remaining at the bottom is still supporting it. V also found herself a nice little hobbit house in the bushes. There aren't a ton of amenities, but the location's good. Now you may be wondering, who is this Lady Bird Johnson that this hike and tree grove are named after? Well, she is actually the wife of President Lyndon B. Johnson, and she is also a giant fan of nature. So much so that in the 1960s, she started an initiative to beautify America's highways and parks. Fast forward to the mid-1960s when these redwoods were being cut down at an alarming rate. Luckily, an effort was started to protect the redwoods, and in 1968, Redwood National Park was officially established. 1 year later, in 1969, President Nixon would recognize Lady Bird Johnson for all of her environmental and conservation work and dedicate this grove to her. And they did this all just in the nick of time, because it is believed that only 5% of the world's old-growth redwood forests remain, and half of that is inside Redwood National and State Parks. Even though Lady Bird unfortunately passed away in 2007 at the age of 94, her legacy of conservation definitely lives on here. And it is a worthy cause. Did you know that coast redwood trees capture more carbon dioxide than any other tree on Earth? So they definitely have an important job, and if we treat them right, they can live for a very long time. The oldest known redwood tree on Earth is over 2,200 years old. After hiking for a while, you should find yourself back at the beginning of the loop. If you went clockwise, you need to make a left here. We found a couple other fun spots to explore before V became very inspired and decided to put out an audition tape to become a park ranger. Here's how that went.
Let me introduce you to stop number 3. This particular redwood trees have been hit by lightning, and it's a prime example of how this tree are still alive and thriving with just half of its trunk, just like Lady Bird.
I don't know about you, but I think she has a very promising future in guided tours. And that pretty much does it for the Lady Bird Johnson Grove Trail. If you decide to visit, obviously do Lady Bird a favor and practice leave no trace principles. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because those are the best things that you can do to support this channel. Check us out on Instagram at thatadventurelife_official, and for all the information about this hike and other awesome adventures, head on over to thatadventurelife.com.